We'll begin this part 2 of chapter 13 with Jupiter. This part covers the gaseous giants of our solar system. Jupiter, as I mentioned, is a gas giant. The gas giants are primarily composed of hydrogen and helium with iron silicate cores. Jupiter has a core twice the size of Earth and 10 to 15 times more massive. Its atmosphere is composed of multicolored clouds in bands aligned parallel to the equator. And also the most fantastic feature of Jupiter is the Great Red Spot, which is a storm on Jupiter. The core of Jupiter is compressed liquid metallic hydrogen, above which you have a layer of liquid hydrogen. Above these layers of hydrogen you have an atmosphere of gaseous hydrogen, helium, and ammonia clouds. It's the metallic hydrogen layer of the core that gives Jupiter its gravitational field. Jupiter is the most massive planet of our solar system. It's about 5 astronomical units from the Sun. Its year is about 12 of our Earth years, and it rotates every 10 hours on its axis. Its mass is equivalent to 318 Earths, but the density is only 25% that of Earth. Jupiter has over 63 discovered moons. Here is the most unique feature of Jupiter, the giant red spot. This is a storm caught between 2 jet stream bands in the atmosphere of Jupiter, and it rotates once every 12 days. The moons of Jupiter, the major moons of Jupiter, are referred to as the Galilean moons because they were discovered by Galileo. Callisto and Ganymede are larger than Mercury. Europa and Io are about the size of Earth's moon. Each of the 4 moons exhibits unique geology. Ganymede, for example, has a core that generates a magnetic field. Io undergoes volcanic activity due to the gravitational tug-of-war with Jupiter, and Io is the innermost moon of Jupiter. Here we see Ganymede, one of the moons of Jupiter, compared to the size of Jupiter. This is a picture of Jupiter and Io to show you the size difference. Saturn is a ringed planet, one of the gaseous giants, and it has atmospheric winds up to 930 miles per hour with lightning on its surface. Its atmosphere is about 75% hydrogen, 25% helium, with clouds composed of ammonia, ammonia hydrosulfide, and water. So it is less dense than water. It has 70% the density of water, so if you could find an ocean big enough, Saturn would float in it. Its prominent feature, of course, is the ring system, which is composed of rings of particles, and its structure is very similar to that of Jupiter. Saturn is about 9.5 astronomical units from the Sun. Its year is about 29.46 Earth years, and the Saturn day is about 10 hours and 39 minutes. It has 56 known moons. Titan is the only moon with a substantial atmosphere. It's larger than Mercury, and it's the second largest satellite after Jupiter's Ganymede in our solar system. This is Saturn's moon Dione. Saturn's moon Enceladus. Saturn's moon Rhea. This is Saturn's moon Tethys. And finally Saturn's moon Mimas. The mass of Uranus is 14.4 times that of Earth. The density is about 24% that of Earth, so it is less dense. The atmospheric composition is hydrogen, helium, and methane. Its surface temperature gets down to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit below zero, and it has its own ring system. Uranus is about 19 astronomical units from the Sun. It revolves around the Sun every 84 Earth years, and it rotates on its axis every 17.25 hours. The axis is unique in that it is tilted 97.86 degrees perpendicular to its plane of orbit, so it actually revolves around the Sun on its side and it rotates north to south compared to Earth, which rotates east to west. The composition of Uranus consists of a core of rocky silicate iron approximately equal to 1 Earth mass. This is surrounded by a mantle of water and ice that's about 8,000 kilometers thick. Then that's topped off by an atmosphere of hydrogen, helium, and methane. There are several moons of Uranus, and from left to right in this picture, based on size, the smallest of which is Puck. The next one is Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, and Oberon. The inner moons, there are 13 of which associated with the ring system, and the major moons listed here. There are also irregular moons, which are objects captured by the gravitational pull during Uranus's formation. When you take a closer look at the 5 major moons of Uranus, you'll see that they have complicated surfaces. There are also a lot of small moons, the total number being at least 22. They tend to have craters, fault systems, and canyons, suggesting moonquakes and meteor strikes. Titania has a huge fault system and canyons, craters, and valleys. Ariel only has small craters, suggesting that activity there is more recent. It also has valleys which are similar to and larger than those found on Titania. It may have been hot long ago, but it's very cold now. Umbriel is ancient and dark, large and heavily cratered. Miranda is the innermost moon and very strange. It has craters mixed with weird grooves, valleys, and cliffs, and huge fault canyons 12 miles deep. It is made of half water, ice, and half rocky material. The structures observed are caused by the upwelling of partially melted ices. Recently, 2 more moons have been discovered orbiting Uranus, and they were named Mab and Cupid. Neptune and Uranus are over 19 AUs from the Sun. Neptune's 30, Uranus is 19. These are the outermost giant planets, and they have similar internal structures. The mass of Neptune is equivalently equal to about 17 of Earth's. Density is about 32% of Earth's. Surface temperature is about minus 353 Fahrenheit. And its atmosphere consists of hydrogen, helium, ammonia, and methane. Winds on Neptune exceed 600 miles per hour, and the dark spot you see here is a large rotating storm. Neptune is 30 AUs from the Sun. It rotates on its axis every 16.1 hours, and the Neptunian year is 165 Earth years. Neptune's composition is very much like Uranus. You have a core of rocky silicate and iron, approximately 1 Earth mass, a mantle of water, ice, and methane, and an atmosphere of hydrogen, helium, ammonia, and methane. Of the 13 moons, 5 have been recently discovered and not named. The innermost moons are associated with its ring system: Naiad, Thalassia, Despina, and Galatea. Triton is the largest of these moons and has a retrograde orbit. There are also several outer irregular moons. Triton, being the largest moon, has a retrograde orbit. It was captured during the formation of Neptune. It has a very thin atmosphere and a very rocky core. Here are some images of the lesser moons of Neptune. This concludes Part 2 of Chapter 13 in Tillery's Integrated Sciences. To finish the chapter, go to Part 3, which covers the trans-Neptunian objects.